Stop. Hello, everyone. No one's here right now currently, so I'm just talking to myself per usual. So I'll just wait till people come on. Until then, I don't know. Hello, how are you? My hair looks like a mess today. Don't know what's going on with it. My vision's quite horrible today, so if I lean in a lot to see what people are saying, please forgive me. I can't seem to see properly today. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today, I'm going to explain where I have been, why I haven't done any videos lately, and so on. What's been going on? So, I haven't been doing videos lately because I've been suffering from extreme anxiety, and there's the quarantine. There's really nothing to do or talk about. So that is the reason why I haven't been on going live. However, there's a cat meowing outside my door. She's not my cat though, so it's like can't let you in. Nice try. But hello, how are you guys? But yes, I have been suffering from extreme anxiety because I don't know, it just kind of hit me out of nowhere and it's really bad. Like not afraid of driving, but I'm afraid of my husband driving and my car breaking down. And we were looking for a house. We had lost the house that we were trying to get the first time. Due to they were on the Matt and Zach who are looking or doing the loan they were unemployed, and so they couldn't get the loan. 1 second. Sorry about that. I had to let my dog out. Because she was whining. She doesn't want to be in here for some reason. Anyhow, I'm glad you're doing okay. I'm sorry you're dealing with anxiety. I know how hard it is. I want to do an anxiety video, but I've already technically done one. But people keep on asking me to do an anxiety video. I will in the future. I want to figure out how I want to do it because I already made a video explaining my experience with anxiety and how I got it and what I went through and the process and how I felt. So there's really nothing I can say. I'm not a doctor. So I can't go on and say anxiety is this, anxiety is that. I didn't go to school for it. I simply do videos explaining my experiences with my disorders so other people who can relate can relate. My cat's now meowing at my door again. I'm not going to let you in. Just not going to. But yes, we had lost the house due to them being on unemployment. Which is fine because I didn't really want that house because it was one room. We would be living in one room, basically like how I'm living now, just a room that's slightly bigger. And I don't want that. I want a house with, I at least have a couple rooms to be able to walk in and walk around in. We're sharing a house with our friends, so they'll be getting like the top half of the house. Because they have a child and everything, so they need more space. And we'll be getting the bottom half of the house, which we were looking for. we were looking for a house that had like a full kitchen in the bottom, a full bathroom in the bottom. And there's houses that exist that have those things, but they're in a distance away and they cost more. And that's what we found. We found a house that doesn't have a full bathroom. I'm sorry, full kitchen, but does have a full bathroom. And it is quite a distance away. It's about 30 minutes away from Zach's work. So he has to drive on the highway with my car that's like about to break down. And I don't like that feeling. So I've been having anxiety about that now. So yes, we did find a house. We are currently going to have the investigator, is that what he's called? The inspector or whoever that goes into the house and checks out the house for you. He's going in tomorrow, and Zach and Matt are going to meet him there so they can see what's going on because they want to be there, although they don't need to be there. So that's what's been going on. We just found this house on Sunday. Today's Wednesday, so it's been a couple of days. And I've been having the hardest time sleeping because of this anxiety of getting this house. Like, part of me doesn't want to move. And part of me is kind of like, this space that I'm getting is pretty nice. It wouldn't be bad to move there. Like, I might have a great filming area. I have one window that's slightly broken. So that's one of the things that the inspector is going to have to write down. So, yeah. So, I will do a house tour when I'm capable of doing it. It's not fully my house, so I can only show you so much. And yeah, so we're not there yet, obviously. I'm still in my current bedroom. I am sorry that I have not filmed lately. I have just had nothing to do, and although this would be the best time to film, because I have nothing to do, for a long period of time, Zach was stuck in the room with me because he was unemployed. So I didn't want to kick him out of the room just to film a couple of videos, because I take about an hour or two to film videos, so he'd be stuck out in the living room doing nothing. I didn't want to do that to him. So that's been that. Sometimes it just screams so loud when I get hurt. I cannot help it when that happened. Is it a symptom of borderline? I don't think so. I don't think that's a symptom of borderline. People with borderline are kind of similar to bipolar. We have an expression of emotion that's just stronger than most people, and it happens in mood swings. But our mood swings are a lot faster and I think longer. No, maybe not longer or quicker to get rid of. It's one of the two. It's been a while since I read up on it. I haven't experienced my borderline in several months because I've been on the right medication. So I can't tell you about that. Missed you so much. I missed you too. Sorry I haven't been around. So if you have any questions about what I've been doing, about the disorders, or if you just want to talk to me about something, feel free. I do have a Discord. I did put a post up on it on my community, and I took it down because I don't know if it's a smart thing to do, because it is one of my rewards for people who are my patrons. So I'm trying to figure that out first before I decide to re-put it back on and allow people to talk to me through Discord, unless you're paying for it through Patreon. Other than that, I don't know. I've been watching a lot of TV. How about you guys? Have you guys been watching a lot of TV? I look like a hot mess. I mean, I took a shower yesterday, but it looks like I didn't. I don't know what's been going on with my hair lately. It's been getting really greasy really fast. Anything you guys got a cure for that? Because I even stopped doing conditioner because conditioner can make your hair oily as well. And I stopped doing that so that I wouldn't have oily hair. And now it looks and feels like it's even more oily than it was before, and I might have to go back to doing conditioner. So, do you guys have any tips and tricks about that? Because I don't want oily hair. I just showered last night. Like, the last thing I want to do is have oily hair the next day. It's a mess. It's just a mess. I can hardly see right now because I took off my glasses. But the glasses reflect the light, so I don't want to have them on. Yes. Any questions that I can answer? Anything. What advice would you give someone dating a person with schizophrenia, borderline personality disorder? Well, usually, if they have both, they have some sort of schizoaffective disorder. Because it's a mood swing disorder. Well, maybe it's possible. It might be possible to have schizophrenia and borderline personality disorder because that's what I thought I originally had. But then I learned that I have schizoaffective disorder. I'm sorry, that's off track. Um, for someone who's dating them, I mean, I've done a video on it. Patience is a virtue. Um, I don't know how Zach did it going through my bad episodes as he did. I don't know how we're still together through the bad episodes that I had. And they were bad. I was really, really nasty with my borderline. My borderline would kick in my anger all the time, and I was just aggressive and mean and manipulative, and it was just terrible. I was not a good person. And I was unhappy with the way that I was, and which made it unhappy in the way of the relationship. So, coming from a person who is the one who has the disorders, I would say that patience is the virtue. Um and time, get them to go see someone. People with schizophrenia are supposed to see both a psychiatrist and a therapist. People with borderline are supposed to see a therapist. I don't think they need to see a psychiatrist, but I did because I have both. And now I'm on the right medication. Back to your question though. So patience, get them to see someone, be supportive. Try not to, if they're having an episode with borderline, like they're getting aggressively angry, try not to filter in the anger too much. Like, try not to get angry yourself because you're just going to make it worse. It's just going to explode more, and you're just going to put yourself more in pain and putting them in pain. So just try to keep calm as best as you can. I noticed what helped me was Zach, whenever I was in a borderline anger episode, he would start talking about something that I really enjoy talking about. Like, I like hearing gossip. I don't like being part of gossip, I just like hearing gossip. So he would start talking about gossip he heard at work and stuff like that. And I'd be like, oh, really? And then my anger would kind of be like going down. Or he would ask me questions about things that I was interested in. So, say if I was angry at the time, but there was a TV show that was going on about true crime or something like that, he would ask me, oh, what kind of serial killer would do this and what kind of serial killer would do that, or who did this and who did that, things that I'm really interested in because I'm really interested in true crime. I would start answering them because he's got me interested in something else. My brain is somewhere else all of a sudden. So my anger wouldn't completely dissipate. Dissipate? Is that a word? Um, it would start cooling off though, like a cooling off period. So distraction would help. And I don't know what else I would say. I don't remember what I said in the video because it's been so long. My memory's just been so horrible, guys. Like, I have the worst memory nowadays. I'm afraid that I'm going to get Alzheimer's in a younger age than I'm supposed to. Because it's highly likely that if someone has schizophrenia or schizoaffective, most likely will have Alzheimer's apparently. And that's just a lovely thought. So, next question. How was your schizoaffective doing disorder been doing going? Oh my god, talk. Well, it's been doing good. I am on the right medication for the next question. What are meds I'm taking? I am taking Abilify and Wellbutrin. Here's my Wellbutrin right here. My Abilify is up in the cabinet. I keep my Wellbutrin next to me because I'm supposed to take it in the morning and I have a tendency of forgetting. So I have it right next to me to remind me to take it in the morning. And my Abilify I take at night. I take 10 milligrams of Abilify, which is actually quite a small amount. Luckily, I've hit my disorder in a younger stage of its disorder. So basically, I was hearing things, I was seeing things, but it was in a shorter time period. They weren't as strong as a lot of schizophrenics go through. For example, I would see things, they would spook me, but I would look away and they would disappear. And my brain would process, oh, it's not there anymore, so it must have not been real. Where a lot of schizophrenics, when they get hit with schizophrenia, it hits fast. Sometimes it hits slow, like it did with me, and sometimes it hits fast, and it's automatically, you see a lot of things, you go through extreme delusions, you believe what you're seeing is real. The voices are usually more, no, my voices were pretty bad, so I can't say they're usually more prominent because mine were pretty prominent. Um, so I was lucky enough to have the disorder come at me slowly. So it started when I was 15 and it kind of just went up in a slow motion, like a roller coaster almost. And it was just about at the top when I got put on these medications because my disorder was getting worse. Uh, Even with taking medication, I noticed my hallucinations were getting worse. I was seeing things more often, more vividly, and the voices were more prominent. Like when I was laying in bed, I could hear someone talk to me, like almost outside of my head, and it spooked me out a lot. So I was just about to hit that hill where I would have gone down speeding fast, and luckily I've gotten on medication that has helped me. Hey, I graduated school yesterday. Well, congratulations! That must be fulfilling because I know it was for me. I don't understand people who drop out of school. Not like, man, you're stupid or anything like that. Do not take it like that. My husband dropped out of school, but he did it because he already had a job that he thought he was going to do for forever. And so he's just like, I don't need school anymore, so he already dropped out. Me personally, I don't see a point in dropping out. You are forced into school at a young age. You go through it for so many years. Usually up into high school you drop out. Um so why just drop out? Just complete it. You spent all those years doing all of that hard work. Just complete it. Just finish it. So it's not just a waste of a lifetime. Well, it's not a lifetime, but a waste of a quarter of your life. It's just the way I see it. I just don't see dropping out as a thing to do. I think it's a waste of time then. You wasted all that time, all that pressure, all that things you had to go through, all the tests, all the friends and betrayals if you had any. Oh, it's just horrible. I went through a lot of that stuff, a lot of betrayals in middle school mostly, and it was terrible. Do you think schizophrenia gets better or worse as people age? I've heard science behind it. I'm not going to pretend that I do. I'm not going to pretend that I do. But I do know that it does get worse as you age, especially if your stress levels are going up along with it. You're adulting more. Like, if it wasn't for my medication right now, I'm pretty sure my schizophrenia would be going crazy because of the move that we're working on doing, the new house and everything like that. I'm pretty sure I'd be seeing things, hearing things more often. My borderline would probably be so kicked in. I would probably be yelling and screaming at these guys, and I'd be like, "Why are you making me move? Why are you doing this to me?" I'll probably try getting manipulative. Ooh, excuse me. I'd probably start crying a lot, and it would just be a mess. So fortunately, I'm on good medication, and I'm not like that now. I've had schizophrenia all my life, but they call it conductive disorder. When I was a kid, was feral child. I don't quite know what you meant by the ending part, but some disorders do seem like other disorders. Like delusional disorder seems very much like schizophrenia, but it's not. It's a completely different thing. Um, and a lot of disorders seem alike, like borderline and bipolar. Borderline and bipolar seem very much almost the same, but it's not. They're actually very, very different. Um, so it's maybe you do have conduct disorder. And you just want to believe it's something else because you don't want to believe that it is this one thing. Bye. But when you start realizing and you start studying into what you have, say if you've never read up on conductive disorder, you start learning that maybe you do have it, and when you do, it's easier for you to handle the disorder better. And for example, I originally thought that I was schizophrenic with bipolar disorder, and then I went to a therapist who said, "I don't think you have bipolar disorder. I think you have borderline personality disorder." And at first I was like, "Nah, that's not what I have. No way. I know for sure I have bipolar disorder." You don't listen to anybody. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you feel that way. Um, but then I looked into borderline personality disorder and I realized, oh crap, I do have this disorder because it sounded more like me than bipolar disorder did. And then when I went to see a psychiatrist, she helped me, prove that even more. It's definitely borderline personality disorder compared to bipolar disorder. So that is the reason why I think that you may think you have schizophrenia, but it could be this instead, because some disorders are just similar and so on. So I don't know how I don't listen to anyone since I'm answering your question for you. Um, that's your opinion. If you don't like me, go away, because I don't need you in my life. But that's your opinion. Um, I have schizophrenia also. I am sorry you go through anything that you do. I heard that in a book by Fuller Touré, Surviving Schizophrenia, that it maybe get better. I seriously, I've never heard of that in my life. Whenever I researched it myself, I never heard of it getting better. Mine got worse as I aged. But I'm not a guy. I'm not male. So it might be different for me instead. Hello. Um, I never heard of that. No. So maybe it's true. I mean, every single case that I've heard about, it's people got worse. It'd be nice to believe that it gets better. Any more questions I can answer for you guys about schizophrenia, borderline, my life, dogs, kitties, anything else? I have a cat right here. See? I have a cat outside the door too, so 1 second. Come on. I had to let a cat in. It's not so bad usually. Most of the time it's just means and I'm distant from reality. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Almost like you're dissociated. Um, it's not fun. For a period of time when I was taking a certain medication, I don't remember what medication it was. It made me worse. Like the dissociation was way worse, and I couldn't bring myself into like reality half the time. Hi. And it was just really bad. Luckily, I switched off the medication, and now I'm a lot better. I don't have that problem anymore, so I hope that you are capable of seeing someone that might help you with that. What's better, dog or kitty? Oh, that's a hard one. I like both. I don't like comparing the two. My cats are great, but my dog's also great. What would the voices say? Also, I might have BPD. The voices are usually aggressive. They're, what's the word for them? There's a particular word. It's like aggressive, but I don't remember the word for it. But they're usually really aggressive, like go do this or go hurt yourself or go hurt someone else. No one likes you. Everyone hates you. Don't do this. Don't do that. Go do this. Go do that. And it's usually not good things. Um, no one loves you. This is just stuff that I've heard from my voices. But there's also been times where the voices were like something else. Like one time where I was laying in bed and I heard a little girl say hello to me. And that was weird. At least I think it was a little girl. Or was it the little boy? God, it's been forever. But then there's sounds you can hear. Like I've heard booms before. Like right outside my ear, not like outside my room, but like right outside my ear. Like a big boom. Like I don't know how to describe it. So they're pretty aggressive. And they sometimes are just really really random, I guess. How do you know you are dissociated? What does it feel like? I feel like my brain or myself is outside of myself, watching myself do things. Um, or sometimes it will make my realities like not sharp and make it dull sometimes. Stuff like that. It's heavy on the mind, as I would say. Anubis, would you stop that? Hey, hold on. Stop that. Okay, let's see. Hi, Ryan. How are you? Don't get me wrong, I think you're cool. I'm not about you. What I meant was I'm that kind of person all my life. Well, I'm sorry. Do you think there's any pros in being schizophrenic? I love that boyfriend notices every little detail and is very intellectual. Well, that is part of schizophrenia. A lot of people think there's a lot of not a lot of people think there's a lot of judgment that people with schizophrenia are not intelligent, when in reality, most of them are extremely intelligent and very creative. And I like to say that I'm intelligent depending on the subject. Like, I know true crime, I know cryptids and monsters, stuff that's really like you don't need in real life. I I just like to learn that type of stuff, and I'm very good at that stuff. Um, Another bonus thing about being schizophrenic is that you see and hear things that other people don't, and so you kind of have experiences that other people don't have, unless if they use really hard drugs that are similar to schizophrenic episodes. Um, so you get to experience things that other people don't, and it makes it easier for you to be more creative. Like maybe if you want to write a book, you'll be able to write about things that a normal person who doesn't have these disorders would have difficulties writing about. And it just makes it more creative. You have more of a creative flow, in my opinion. So that's honestly, those are the only few things I can think about that's great about it. Because other than that, it can be pretty terrifying to have. Um, let's see, where did I leave off? Where did I leave off? I don't mind being distanced from reality. It's not so bad. I enjoy it most of the time, but I still make sure to take care of everyday responsibility. That's good. I mean, if you're capable of doing that, then you're still on the right track. I still suggest going to see someone because these disorders can get worse, especially with stress. And as you age, you have more adult things to do. If you hear that bell ringing, that's my cat playing with a toy. Sorry. I agree. It's hard. Hello. How are you? Love the name of your cat. Thank you. Is it hard to tell the difference between a random sound coming from machinery or the house setting versus a sound that's not really there? It depends on the sound. Uh, like when I was laying in bed and I heard the little girl say hello, it was right next to my ear, but my brain was like, no one's there. No one's there. So it must be my schizophrenia. Like it always tries to add it up to my schizophrenia, like no matter what it is. Even now that I'm even now that I'm in a good spot with my medication, if I see something in the corner of my eye, I don't think, oh, I just happen to see something in the corner of my eye. I think immediately it's not there, it's my schizophrenia, which isn't always a good thing because your reaction time gets messed up with that. For example, in the past, quite a long time ago, I was driving home from my girlfriend's house at the time, and we have a beach road that leads to the beaches because I lived in Florida. And I was driving by the beach road, and I swore I saw a car coming out and about to hit me, like T-bone me. Um, when I quickly looked back, like as a reaction, um, nothing was there. But if I thought the way I do now, like, oh, that's not really there, pays more attention to the road, then most likely, um, I could have gotten into an accident because my reaction time would have been all messed up. Again, 1 second. You wanna go out? Come on. No, go out. So, about the sounds again, I'm sorry I went off track. Sometimes I have to ask Zach if he heard the sound. Bye. Um, before I make the conclusion that it's not real. Like I do hear bangs and booms a lot in the house, and I'll ask Zach, "Hey, did you hear that?" He'd be like, "No," and then I'll be like, "Okay, it's just me," and I kind of just sum it up like that. But most times, I just think that it's not real. A lot of times, it's it's so real that like I said, I have to ask him. So that's how I tell the difference. It's not really telling the difference. It's just kind of summing it up to an easy conclusion. So yes. I am being treated currently. I am on meds and I'm stable. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you're being unstable. You're being stable. I'm sorry. um, I'm getting hungry. Any more questions? I'm so anxious about tomorrow. Zach has to go all the way to Cartersville, which is about 30 minutes away from where I live, to go see the inspector for the house. And I'm afraid of the drive there. I'm not going, but he's going with his friend Matt, who we'll be living with. And I just don't like the drive. Like, it's so long, and I'm afraid that my car is going to break down. That's if they take the car. And it's just spooky, and I don't like it. Don't like it. I dissociate a lot. Like, people have told me they see it physically on my face, and it's really hard to communicate. I'm sorry that you have to go through that. I don't know what to say. Um, um, like I said, the best bet you can do is to go see someone. Um, get on the right medications, see a therapist. They can help too. I can't even see a therapist because I don't have the money for it. I have to see a whole new psychiatrist when we move because it's way far away from where I'd see my last psychiatrist. My last psychiatrist is about 30 minutes away from where I live now, and I'm going in the opposite direction. So it'd be like an hour to get to my psychiatrist now, and I don't want to go through that. Not with my car. I just ate a chili dog myself. Well, that sounds good. Okay, I found the quote. It's in the book Surviving Schizophrenia Family Manual by E. Fuller Touré. It says aging, don't know that word, the symptoms of schizophrenia. By the way, glad you are back. Thank you. Hi from Malta? Hi, I don't know where that's at. Never heard of that place. How should I support my cousin who just got committed? I got some thoughts on this since I've been impatient, but I'm wondering about your thoughts. Oh, that's tough. I've personally, the only person in my life that has been committed was my sister when she was younger before I was born. She said that she was hearing things, they're hearing voices, but this was the time when my mom and her father were having a divorce. So the doctors just sum it up as she's just making it up and it was depression. So now that I know that she went through that, I try to support her. Um, Even though she doesn't need it now, she's much older now. And I've asked her before if she still hears voices, and she said on occasion, but that's all she said. So I think she may have gotten it from depression, but that's not your question. If someone I know has gotten committed, I would try to be there for them. I would visit them as much as possible. Because it can be pretty lonely. It's pretty scary. I have never been committed myself, but I have gotten really, really, really close to committing myself into a hospital a dozen of times. Um, just imagining it would make me scared and paranoid and anxious and lonely. And all those things could be prevented by visiting the person, tell them that you're there for them, that you understand well, you might not understand what they're going through, but that you're willing to listen to them and just remind them that they're there for a reason to help them. Not like this is what you get kind of situation. It's more like, well, maybe this is a good step to figuring out what's going on, and then we could help you better by taking the steps that we need now. That's the way I see it, but like I said, I've never personally seen my friends or family go into being committed. Okay, are you still under shelter in place where you live? No, but a lot of the places around us are still closed. Well, not a lot of them. A lot of them have reopened. Even my gym has reopened, but we canceled out of our gym membership. Yeah, I'm not happy about that. But we're still quarantining ourselves because we don't want to get the I was gonna say the disorder, but that's not the case. The virus. Um, Luckily, no one in my family has gotten it yet. So we basically still quarantine ourselves, except for the fact that me, Zach, and our friends still have game night on Saturday nights, and we still were looking for houses. Hi, Amanda. How are you? I'm doing okay at the moment. Just at the moment, though. How old are you? I am 29. Do you ever hallucinate while driving? I used to. I Like I explained earlier, I had seen a car almost T-bone me and it wasn't really there. Um and I've seen a huge eyeball in my side mirror of my car just staring at me. That was creepy. Um, I always have delusions in my car. I used to always have delusions in my car, thinking that someone would always be in the back seat staring at me through the rear view mirror. So I would always get freaked out driving at night. Is this live right now? Yes, it is live right now. Otherwise, I don't think you could do the chat at all. So yes, I have had hallucinations while driving. Luckily, I don't anymore because I'm on the right medication. So, should I have been driving before? Probably not. But I've never gotten into a well, I've gotten into one car accident, and that was because someone was behind me, parked in the parking lot, in the middle of the parking lot. She was parked in my blind spot, and I went to back up and I hit her car. That's the only car accident I've ever been in that I've personally have done. And I still think it's her fault for being there. And I always believe that because I don't want to think that I did it myself. So, yes, on that part. That was a rough day. Her mother was so mean. Her mother came out of that car fast and was like, "What did you do? What are you doing? How could you have done that?" And screaming at the top of her lungs. I hit her daughter's car, by the way. And she didn't even ask if her daughter was okay. That's the first thing I did when I got out of the car. I was like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine." But then her mom comes out of the car and just starts screaming at me and doesn't ask if her daughter and her son was getting out of the car, if they were okay. It was no, not even once. I don't think I heard her once ask during the entire 30 minutes we were going through that ordeal. It was kind of stupid. I don't know what was wrong with that woman, but she was just flipping out. Everyone was okay. The damage wasn't terrible. I was able to pop my car back into the dent back into regular self. I don't know how to describe that. It was a bad day. I can't drive anymore legally because of my treatment in my country. I'm glad you can. I'm sorry. That must be tough. I don't know what I would be able to do if I couldn't drive. There was a time period last year where I couldn't drive. Not last year. It was the year before. I think it was the year before. Sometime in August, I believe. Um, I had almost fainted in my car. And after that, I had severe anxiety about driving. And that happened for about a month. So I didn't drive for a month, and it was just terrible. I hated myself. I hated the fact that I couldn't do it. I couldn't go near my car. I couldn't go outside. That's how bad my anxiety was. My anxiety was so bad. It hit me so hard that I couldn't shower without the door open. I couldn't eat. I had lost 10 pounds in a couple of days. And it was just really, really, really bad. I don't want anyone to go through that. And I'm starting to go through experiences with anxiety again now. I can't even drive in my city anymore because there are more cars than actual people. You are quicker on your feet. Oh, well, where do you live? It must be a really busy location. Ugh, hiccup. I'll be getting off soon, so if you have any more questions, feel free to ask. I would love to answer them for you. Sorry for my communication, it's not that great. So, any more questions? So, yeah, my experiences about that is not that wonderful. But again, I've talked about all of these experiences before on my channel, so if you want to hear more about certain stories, go on ahead. I don't think I talked about the car accident, though. I don't think that was one of the things I talked about. I don't even remember it fully. I just remember hitting her and then her mother screaming her ass off at me, and me being like, crying my eyes out because I don't like to be screamed at. I'm glad that places are opening up. I'm kind of glad about it, but I'm not supposed to be spending money because of the house. I thought you said you're gonna be home at 4.
Latest 4.
Oh.
Are you doing a live stream?
Yes.
Hi, peoples.
Zach's home. He's home from work.
Hi.
So how was work?
Delivered 5 trucks and had to put it all in steel.
So you do get off at 3 tomorrow. Like that's your normal time.
Yeah, I told Jojo that I needed to get off at 3 for the
inspection.
Yeah, the inspector. And he said, "All right, that's not a problem. I don't care."
Oh, okay.
And he's like, "No matter." I mean, I told him, and I would stay. You know that, just like I did today. So I'd stay till 6 if you'd let me, but tomorrow's a no-go for that. So he's like, "Don't worry about it. You're good."
Oh.
Look, overtime's overtime. I'll always take overtime, but tomorrow's not a day that I can.
And he's still picking you up?
As far as I know.
Let's hope it stays that way.
At lunchtime, I'll call Matt and make sure that's still the plan.
Let's hope so.
No, I'm not worried about it.
I am, so.
No.
I'll be worried about it.
I'm driving. Don't be worried.
You're not driving.
If I have to drive.
Yeah, but I don't want... You have to get the...
I have the address.
Yeah, the address, yeah.
I have GPS on my phone.
It's just I don't want you to drive.
I love how caring you are. But honey, if we do move there are going to be days where I drive by myself.
I know.
So you're going to have to get used to it.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think I will.
You don't have a choice.
Anyway. What's the longest you were in a dark place and couldn't snap back into reality? Oh, geez, a couple of times.
17 years.
17 years? Is that what you said?
Yeah, 17 or 18 years. I forget. When did I meet you? When you were 21?
Yeah.
Or when did I actually get involved with you? 21?
Yeah.
Okay, so your first 21 years.
No, it was more than that. Even after we got together, I had dark places.
Yeah. So let's just say 90% of her life.
90% of my life. Gabriella says hi.
Hi.
He says hi back.
I would totally go in front of the camera, but I'm getting ready to shower, so yeah.
So, yes, a lot of my life I was in a dark place because of my mental disorders. And they were not nice place to be in. My worst was when I was 15, and that's when my schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder really hit me. And then there were spurts of bad times afterwards where I just... What are you doing?
Snapple. I wasn't going to make any noise, and then you just had to interrupt yourself.
You're making noises right now.
Well, it's because now it didn't matter. I didn't have to be careful anymore. You made it obvious.
Anyways.
A honeybee can fly at 15 miles per hour. Just in case any of you didn't know that.
Would you hurry up? You're disrupting me. And then I had small spurts of darkness in between. And then I had a really bad one when I had that anxiety after the car accident. That was pretty bad.
Stop paying attention to me. You got people to talk to.
I'm getting distracted.
I know my shirt's off, but chill out. It's nothing good to look at.
Zachary, shut up.
I love you.
Anyway, any more questions that I can answer for you guys? Now that Zach's gone. I wasn't expecting to come home. He's like, I'm going to stay until about 4. It is almost 4. I was paying attention to that live clock instead of the actual clock. So, yes. I have had a lot of dark times in my life. Especially with borderline. Borderline's made it a lot worse. Because it's made people leave me. And that was always a dark time. When people just up and left because they couldn't deal with me anymore. I had a really good friend who did that, and it just broke my heart. We were basically like sisters. I helped her through her parents' divorce. She would sleep over my house whenever it would happen. But just one day, she just stopped talking to me. Stopped coming over to my house. And I went over to her house, asked her what was wrong, and she's like, nothing. But she just stopped talking to us. And, never gave us a reason. Never. but I just assumed that she couldn't handle my episodes because I was having quite a few of them back then. And she experienced a lot of them, and I just don't think she could have handled it. But I don't think she wanted me to know that, and that's why she never told me why she had left. So I've had people just stop talking to me. It really hurts. It does. It really does. I've had a lot of people just stop talking to me, and it just made no sense to me because I didn't understand. So, yes, some dark times in my life. I had two people who, I've had a lot of people leave me, but I've had two people just up and stop talking to me to leave me. And the first one was when I was like 9, and my episodes were not bad back then. I would hear voices, but they weren't bad, too terrible. They were kind of bad. I mean, they told me to get revenge. That's not that exactly that good. And she just she had gotten a boyfriend, and I had actually made them meet each other, so I kind of regret it. And then she just stopped talking to me one day, and I came over her house, beating on her door, asking why was she not talking to me anymore, and she just ignored me. And her boyfriend came out with water balloons and started throwing water balloons at me. He was like 3 years older than us, and it was bad. And I went to the pier, and I heard the voices say, "Get revenge, get revenge." And I didn't know how to get revenge because I was a little 9-year-old girl. And so I went back to her house and I stole his helmet from his bike and I hid it. Because back then it was the law to have your helmet on, although the police never enforced it. And I just thought, oh, this is a great idea. This is me getting revenge. It was so stupid. The neighbors probably thought, why is there a helmet inside my bush? Because that's where I hid it. It was kind of funny. I laugh at it now. Makes me think they're not actually real friends, but they're not. They're not actual real friends. They just stop talking to you. I even had people on here just stop talking to me, and it made me wonder, like, what did I do? Did I talk too much? Like, because whenever you guys talk to me, I always try to respond. I've had people email me talking to me, and I've responded. And okay, um, so I don't know how to say that. I missed the beginning of the live. Did you explain what happened with your move? Oh, yeah, the first move. Um, Matt and Zach, who are the two people who were putting their names on the loan, they were under unemployment, and the unemployment makes it where it's like not a valuable way of making money. So we weren't able to get the first house, and so on, so forth. So now we are looking at a second house now, which will be having an inspection tomorrow. I don't know how to respond to Luli Sharma saying that I am racist. I didn't think I said anything in this video that was racist, and if I did, I apologize. I do not mean to be like that. If you could explain yourself, though, that'd be great, because I think of myself as not a person who is that type of person. Like, at all. Like, at all. I'm a very open, unafraid person, and I like everyone, and I get along with everyone. So I don't know how I am racist. Please explain yourself. I would love an answer. You're a brave human being. I am sorry for your pain. Understanding should precede free will. It doesn't always, unfortunately. People are ignorant, be resilient, and never give up. I will never give up, because if I've gone through the things that I've gone through, that tells me that I have to be brave no matter what. And I will try to be brave no matter what. So, yes. Any more questions that I can answer? It's almost time to get off. I said that about 10 minutes ago. I'll get off at exactly 60 minutes. Why did you leave? I did not intend to leave. During the quarantine probably would have been the best time to film, but my husband was at home most of the time, so I didn't have really the room to film without kicking him out for a couple hours, and I didn't want to do that. That and I was suffering through extreme anxiety, and I had troubles filming because of that. And also, if you can't tell, a lot of my makeup on the shelf is gone. It's because we were about to move, and so I packed up a lot of my stuff. So if I don't have makeup on, I usually don't film unless if it's a live stream. So that happens. I do have stuff to put makeup on. I was gonna film someday soon because I'm expecting a box to arrive, but they've never responded to me, and they never told me when it should arrive. I should actually try to talk to them now about it. When should I expect the package? Please answer me. Reading request. Oh. I found you through YouTube, and when I searched schizophrenia, I can relate to you. Although I've experienced some symptoms of schizophrenia, I was brought it up to my doctors, and actually even helps me educate about the illness. I didn't see this. Thank you. I am happy you enjoy my videos. I can't see very well. But yes, as I just showed you, I usually try to communicate back to you guys whenever you guys respond to me. My Instagram did not tell me that I had gotten a message there, so sorry for that if you're watching my video right now. It just didn't say that I had gotten a message until I went into my messages, which I never do unless if it tells me I have a message. So sorry about that. So do you think schizophrenia is root of abuse? No, I don't. Because depending on which side you're on, a lot of people think that schizophrenia people are abusive, which is not the case. A lot of times they're the ones who are being abused. And I don't think it's a root of abuse. I think abuse is a whole different stem of things, a whole different scenario, a whole different place. And I just don't know what to say about that because I don't know where you would have heard that. I never heard of that before. Hello, hope you're okay. Just a quick question if you haven't got the time. What advice would you give for someone like myself on ways of coping with psychosis and suffering paranoid thinking? Thank you. Oh, jeez. Psychosis, you just try to remain calm. Try not to go jumping into conclusions. Like, if you're having a psychosis with the voices or the hallucinations and it's just going crazy, try to just breathe and remember you have a disorder. Maybe that's what's going on. I know it's hard to do. And paranoid thinking is a whole nother level. I understand paranoid thinking. It makes you extremely anxious. It makes you extremely afraid and nervous, and it's terrifying. And it makes a lot of things, it makes you question a lot of things and wonder about a lot of things. And the best bet is to just take one step at a time. I didn't deal well with my paranoid thoughts. It was bad. They often led to delusions, and I still occasionally get them. So I don't have great advice on that since I still deal with it, and it's not great. So sorry about me not giving a great answer to that. I like how you deal and talk about these things. Really awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I try my best. I'm losing here. Sorry. It keeps coming out. All right, guys, we have 30 seconds. Anyone got questions? Oh, sorry, I meant like, do you think childhood trauma or traumatic events can cause schizophrenia. Yes, I think that is one of the causes of schizophrenia. I think that you can be born with it too. It people have doctors, not people, have said that it's hereditary. I don't know if it's completely hereditary because I didn't get it from hereditary. No one in my family has schizophrenia or borderline personality disorder. The most that they have is depression. So, me, I'm one of the crowd of my family that actually suffers from schizoaffective disorder, which is a big wow factor for a lot of doctors because it means that it could have been caused from something else. Um, I think I was born with it because I've been hearing voices and seeing things since I was a wee little lass. So, I really don't know. Um, I think it's a possibility. I think it's a really strong possibility. Thank you. You're amazing. Thank you for your advice. We are living proof as I can relate to you what you say. How should answer someone who says I'm crazy without going into a rant? If you have the disorder, just say I'm not crazy. I'm schizophrenic or schizoaffective, and if how would you say that? I've never been called crazy, surprisingly. People around where I live was pretty understanding with what I had. I would just say I'm not crazy. I just have this disorder, and if you think it is a crazy disorder, that is your opinion. Feel free to look it up and look into it. If you don't, well, that's your own choice. That's what I would say. But who knows? It is good to see you on here again. Can schizophrenia be treated without an antipsychotics? I don't think so. I don't firmly believe that. I think that you do need antipsychotics to have to control the episodes. So that's just my opinion. All right, guys, that is it. I need to get off. I need to go get something to eat. I am starving. I think I'm gonna have some ramen. I've been really wanting ramen lately. My parents don't want me to be treated with pills. I'm sorry, but unfortunately, if you do have this disorder, it will only get worse unless you take medication and see a therapist. So, I'm sorry that you have to go through that. It must be difficult not having supportive parents like that. Um, I'll see you again hopefully soon. I'm probably going to be in the middle of moving for the next month. So I will try vlogging that. I vlogged a little bit of it the other day. So not like the full house, just like the bottom of the house where I'll live in. So hopefully you guys will see that in the end of the June. So